Hello and welcome back to GTR2 in round 4 of the 1994 Australian Manufacturers Championship here at Lakeside in sunny Queensland. Lakeside is home ground to our championship leaders Tony Longhurst and Paul Morris, and one would have expected that they'd be leading the way after qualifying, but that hasn't been the case, so they're both going to have some hard work ahead of them in the first heat from Lakeside. Longhurst has a 28-point lead over Paul Morris in the title race as we enter the second half of the championship. So let's now go and see how they line up for the first heat. And on pole is the man who dominated round 2 of the series at Phillip Island, Phil Ward. 53.724 seconds. Around here, 3/10 clear of his teammate Peter McKay, who qualified in second. McKay was in turn 3/10 ahead of James Kay in the Oryx Toyota, who's qualified in third. And he's joined on row 2 by his teammate Greg Murphy in the second of the Toyotas. Row 3, first BMW, John Cotter in the Clark Sinks BMW, and he's joined on that row by the series leader Tony Longhurst, well back at his home track. He'll be expected to fight back through the field in the first heat. Out of position 7, Mark Adderton in the Momo BMW. He's joined on row 4 by Peter Duhlman in the Clark BMW. Position 9, Peter Hills in the Sierra. And out of position number 10, John Blanchard in the BMW M3. From 11, Phil Alexander in the Peugeot. And out of position 12, the man who's second in the championship and needing to make some ground today, Paul Morris. We'll see what he can do from 12th on the grid. From 13, Steve Ellery in the Shellgrave Sierra. 14, Ken Matthews in the Peugeot. And off the tail of the field, unfortunately, after a few struggles in qualifying, that's us, Ross Dugman. So let's see if we can make up a bit of ground off the back of the grid, as we'll head down to the grid now for the start of the race. On the grid, round 4, race 1. Sunny Lakeside, we're away. Around the outside of our teammate we can. There's a bit of a walk up here. Can we get down the inside of Morris? I think we can. John Blanchard, Morris a bit later on the brakes, but he's running wide. Up to 11th, off the back. That's a good start. So we go around the back of the circuit, under the bridge. We're going to come down now to Hungary Corner. Up to the top loop for the first lap. Couple of BMWs ahead. Morris trying to carve his way through the field from a poor grid position. Got Blanchard on one of the Clark BMWs. Ran now to win the first lap. 17 to go. Phil Alexander alongside us in the other Peugeot. Keep the... Oh, he's gone much later under brakes. Now we've got Peter Hills running into us. Just been able to hold 13th. That's a bit of a shame. Down the roller coaster ride to Hungary Corner. He's got a teammate Ken Matthews in behind us. 2 wheels on the curb. This whole track's like a big roller coaster ride. That's what gives it its character. Through the final corner, onto the front straight, so we're already 2 laps down. From 13. Matthews right behind us, and Hills has got ahead of Phil Alexander. We take advantage. He's slowed down, whether he's got a problem or Hills slowed him up. Over the curve at Hungary. assault now down the hill. So we might have lost Phil Alexander here. Can't see him in the rearview mirror, so first retirement, one of the 3 Peugeots. Down to the carousel. This track's not the best for a front wheel drive car because it just wants to keep pushing. Under the bridge, that wall on the left used to be right on the edge of the track. Scene of many a bigger accident. Matthew's trying to go the long way. We're sideways, we've got Ellery behind us. Front guys have started getting away. Through the carousel. What we came up to was the scene of the big fiery crash in 1989, the Australian Touring Car Championship round, involving the lusty Commodore and Andrew Madecki. Glenn Seaton and Murray Carter also got caught up in it. Completely burnt out Andrew Madecki's Ford Sierra. Check that out on YouTube if you haven't seen it. Very lucky there wasn't a big injury there as well across the curb. Thomas Maziera also had a big crash there in 1994. Turn 1, Ellery's got a run on us. Struggling for pace here, particularly straight line speed. Out of the carousel. Lakeside's featured many great touring car battles in Australia. No more so than the 1981 Australian Touring Car Championship decider between Dick Johnson and Peter Brock. That should be the last thing on my mind at the moment because Ellery's climbing all over us. Ken Matthews, our team car, right behind us. Down to the carousel. Already a third of the way there. 6 down. 12 to go. A warm Queensland afternoon here at Lakeside. Such a bumpy track. That's what makes it. You can't take your eye off the ball here anyway. Ellery climbing all over us in the Chelgrave Sierra. Down to third gear. First part of the carousel. Just got a rear vision mirror full of blue. Down to Hungary. Round onto the front straight. track closed down in 2001 and was reopened around 2010, 2009, 2010, but as a club-only track. And that's sort of what's been recreated here. It's as it was reopened, so hence, and I think it had just got a fresh layer of tarmac, so hence why there's no grid markings, which makes it not the most ideal in terms of sim racing, because there's also no starting lines. But it's also the best one that there is. There is like a late 60s version of it, I think originally put on Grand Prix Legends, but the quality's not as good in terms of graphical. So there's a bit of 6 to 1, half a dozen the other when it came to using which track, but I thought, at least for this season, I'll give this a go. Future seasons, I may go to the other one. But 2001 was the last year it hosted major national championships, namely around to the then Konica V8 Supercar Series. It's now known as Super 2. It did host a round of the Australian Super Touring Championship every year from 95 to 2000. Plus, of course, this, the 1994 Australian Manufacturers Championship round. Hillary all over us. Around the top corner. On the grass. Oh, Ellery tried to dive up the inside. Held him off. Lap 12. Hosted the 1969 Australian Grand Prix, which I believe the coverage can be found on YouTube. It was the scene that day of a very dominant Ferrari performance from Chris Amon and Derek Bell. Keep doing what we're doing. Maybe be able to hold them out. Through the carousel. The little hump. Now the tricky sweeper here, and then it flicks you right down to the aptly named Hungry Corner, supposedly because it eats cars, which it most certainly did and does. Used to be a wall right on the outside of Hungry Corner back in the 70s, early 70s. It's probably mid to late 70s by the time they took it out. Front straight. 5 to go. Through the sweeper. Gone a bit wide, Ellery's gone through. Just understeered a bit wide and right there, I think my tyres are going off. So Matthews having a look up the inside. Kept him behind. It's a bit disappointing. Fifth gear. Haven't been lapped, which is encouraging. We're going to have to see what we can do for race 2. Around carousel. Just haven't got anything at the moment with these little Peugeot. I suppose it says something about the mod that in a positive light that cars are not equal, which they weren't in real life, and I'm glad they're not in the mod. It does make it hard work though. Down now to turn 1. Made my best start of the season before, so it's a shame a lot of that work was undone, but if we just don't have the pace, not a lot we can do about it. Around the top loop. Oversteer. Oh, that may be enough. We're going to have to pull a desperate into turn 1. Can we get it back? Titanic battle for last place here. Just managed to get it back. Going to come around and get the final lap board. Through Hungry Corner. Around onto the main straight. Just avoided getting lapped because the victory flag has gone out. Interesting to see who won. Whether it was Mercedes or whether Longhurst and Morris had been able to fight their way through. Longhurst with quite a decent championship lead. Corner. Up to the loop for the final time. Down the hill, last corner. And we're going to finish 12th. That's not in the points. At least it's not last. Can Matthews finish behind us? So Phil Ward takes the win here, just ahead of Tony Longhurst by half a second. Longhurst made up a lot of ground in that race but couldn't quite get through to the win. Peter McKay trails both of them in third, just a second off the pace. A long gap back then to Peter Duhlman in 4th, who fended off Paul Morris, who came from 12th to 5th. Quite a good drive, just like Tony Longhurst, but he came from a lot further back, but that's not really going to help him championship-wise. James Kay finishes 6th in the Carina, ahead of John Blanchard, John Cotter, Mark Adderton and Greg Murphy rounded out the top 10 for another points finish, although that was a big drop in him in that race. He started 4th. Steve Ellery 11th, who we fended off for a long time, but he made a bit of a gap on us towards the end as we struggled home in 12th. We've got a lot of work to do for race number 2. Ken Matthews, our teammate, in 13th, while Peter Hills and Phil Alexander were both retirements with gearbox failure. So that's where we'll leave race number 1 here at Lakeside. Race 2 is coming up very soon. I look forward to your company then to see if we can go a little bit better. Thank you for watching.